All right, so now let's attach the lights to the hat. So as you can see here, we have a hat without lights attached to it, and over here we have what the lights should look like in the end, and all of our supplies. So on the table here, I have our roll of LEDs, as well as this piece of wood is just to put the glue on, so you could use a plate or anything else, but we had some scrap wood, so that's where we're going to put our samples of glue. To attach the glue to the hat, you could use any sort of cheap paintbrush, or actually what I found worked best was Q-tips that have the tips cut off, so that's what I'm going to use today. Feel free to use whatever you'd like, but that worked really well for me. We also have some sewing pins and some scissors, a box cutter, as well as our chosen adhesive. So just some notes about different adhesive options. You do not want to use a hot glue gun for this project, or a fabric type of glue other than something that's industrial strength, because I found that with wearable projects and a lot of movement and dynamics that they fall off easily, or they don't really adhere things well to your project. So my glue of choice is this E6000. It's like a general industrial strength craft glue, and it's worked really well for me and lasted for a really long time. So I would highly suggest that. And then we have a strip of black fabric. So talking about fabric and light diffusion for a moment. So we chose a somewhat dark but also translucent black nylon type fabric. You can still see some light through it. It's also stretchy, so it'll look nicer on the hat. So whatever you choose for your fabric, make sure that you can see some light through it, and that you want to test it too over your lights before fully attaching it. But also you want some stretch or some give so that it can adhere nicely to the hat instead of looking like it has a bunch of wrinkles or anything like that. So that's what I have here on my table. Before you attach the LEDs to the hat, you're gonna want to take your box cutter and your hat, or some other sharp X-Acto type of knife, and you're going to cut a slit into the hat on the side somewhere, or in the back. For this project, we're choosing the side, and you're going to create 3 straight cuts to create a 3-sided box, to create a flap that you can press into the hat in order to place the connectors and the LEDs inside the hat. So I'm going to start with my first one here. And then this hat has a band on it. As you can see, I'm just trying to avoid that. And then I'm going to cut one on top as well, being careful not to cut myself as I do this. And then I'm going to go under this band a little bit. Just get that out of the way. And do another cut down there, and as you can see, I now have this open flap in the hat where I can place my connector piece, which is this part, and that can just sit in there. So I'm going to feed these through. Just make sure it's nice and snug too, because then it won't be able to come out very easily. Maybe I didn't cut it big enough. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Like so.